Thomas Cook, bonjour.
Bonjour.
Merci infiniment de votre présence parmi nous aujourd'hui. Vous êtes natif d'Alabama, dans le sud-est des États-Unis, mais vivez actuellement à New York. Vous êtes l'auteur d'une vingtaine de romans et le public français vous est fidèle depuis de nombreuses années. L'on pourrait citer Les Feuilles mortes, Mémoire assassine, Le dernier message de Sandrine Madison. Vous êtes venu aujourd'hui nous présenter votre tout nouveau roman qui est paru aux éditions du Seuil en septembre et qui s'intitule Le crime de Julian Wells. Pouvez-vous nous dévoiler quelques éléments de cette intrigue inédite?
Yes, the story begins when a crime writer of sorts is found to have been a suicide. He is the best friend of the narrator of the book, and after his death, his friend notices an epigram that one of his books was dedicated to him, and the dedication was to Philip, sole witness to my crime. And he begins to wonder what this crime was that he supposedly witnessed. Now that Julian is dead, he will not be able to ask Julian. So he begins to try to look into Julian's past to try to find out what the nature of the crime was that he presumably saw.
Pour quelle raison avez-vous fait de Julian Wells un écrivain, à l'œuvre très sombre qui plus est, puisqu'il enquêtait sur des meurtriers en série à travers le monde?
Well, in a way, it may have sprung from the fact that I'm writing a travel book now, which will be published in England in 2 years, about the value of going to the darkest places on earth and taking your family to those places instead of Disneyland from time to time. And so, like Julian, I went to Moscou, I went to Oradour-sur-Glane, I went to South America, I went to Auschwitz, and all of these places began to inform the mind that Julian Wells has with regard to his own pursuit of darkness.
Philippe et Julian partent pour un séjour en Argentine en pleine dictature. Ces deux jeunes Américains d'un milieu privilégié sont-ils conscients de ce qui se joue pour la population dans ce pays? Quelles conséquences cela peut-il avoir sur eux?
I think initially when they first go to Argentina, they are essentially unaware of what is going on in Argentina. And that becomes essential to the nature of what happens to the female character in the book, Marisol. They completely underestimate the danger in which they are in, and which they put other people in, because they are essentially unaware of what is going on in Argentina and only become aware of it later. They're very much tourists. They don't see anything that isn't right in front of them.
Vous évoquez dans votre livre le terrible sort réservé à la population d'Oradour-sur-Glane le 10 juin 1944. La Seconde Guerre mondiale est-elle inscrite dans votre histoire familiale?
Yes, to some degree it did. My father was in the American Army during World War II. He actually was a part of the force that liberated Paris. And I have pictures of my father sitting in front of a pharmacy in Paris. And on the back of the picture, he wrote to my mother, "I am in Paris. This is what we call a drugstore." That's what he wrote on the back of the picture. But he's in his uniform, and he was part of the liberation. I've always been drawn to World War II as a subject. The book that's coming out next year, La Vérité du Annaïk, is about World War II. My second novel was about World War II, so I think it's a very rich subject to write about still.